Yo, what is up guys, my name is AFC Adinho and welcome to another PvP ranked video. This time I'm bringing the choice band Entei to the squad, and I really love this Pokemon. I actually think it's really good, guys. A lot of people are sleeping on this, but I'll show you guys how strong this guy is as we are playing against. I'm getting sick of that team. But yeah, looking at that team though, Entei is just gonna run through this team. Look at this. This is definitely a game for Entei and perhaps for my Pokeone Z. But let's lead Lloyd Grim. Don't worry, man. Yeah, he's playing a kind of team that most people usually don't like to play against. But I'm leading off with Muk. His team actually doesn't break through Muk really well. Only his Gliscor can break through it. So I can lead off with Muk, get off a knockoff, and get rid of an item of someone. Because knockoff is actually very important against this guy's team. But let's see what he does. If he's staying in, he will most likely go for Discharge, trying to get the paralysis off. But yeah, if he stays in, he does risk losing the leftovers. And Zapdos without leftovers is much easier to kill. He does stay in. We get rid of the leftovers. Unfortunately, we do not get him poisoned. But I'm gonna switch into my Hippowdon now, because if he stays in, I get up my Stealth Rocks. And if he goes into any other member than Gliscor, I will also get up my Stealth Rocks. And Stealth Rocks does really pressure the Muk, the Avalugg, the Chansey, and the Zapdos. So getting up those rocks are going to be really important. He switches into Avalugg, and if this Avalugg has Toxic, I don't mind, because I really prioritize getting up the Stealth Rocks here. And any other attack is not gonna do a lot to my Hippowdon. So he will most likely switch into Gliscor here. That's most likely the play in most situations. As he actually stays and he goes for Avalanche. But because I didn't touch him, he didn't get the boost in Avalanche. But that Avalanche actually did a lot, guys. So this might actually be an Adamant Avalugg. Damn, that's crazy. But I'm gonna go for the Toxic here, because he might try to go for the Rapid Spin. He stays in. He does go for the Rapid Spin. And he takes Rocky Helmet damage and Poison and Sandstorm. So this Avalugg is getting really chipped here. If I had leftovers, I would have gone for Stealth Rocks here. But I'd rather go for Slack Off, keep my Hippowdon healthy so that I can switch it in against the Muk. And against the Zapdos, obviously. He will most likely switch out though. And he could either go into Chansey or he could go into Gliscor as he goes into Chansey. So he might try to get up the Stealth Rocks. So I'm going into Scizor, and I think going into Scizor here is the best play, because if he goes for Toxic, Scizor is immune. If he goes for Stealth Rocks, I get off the defog. So it's a win-win for me, as he does go for Stealth Rocks, and I can just defog them away. And if he goes Zapdos now, I can bring in my Hippowdon again, get up the Stealth Rocks again. As he actually switches into Gliscor, and I honestly like this, because I can always U-turn on the Gliscor, and because I'm slower, I always get in a nice switch. So let's see what he will do with his Gliscor. Not sure what he's planning to do here, because his Chansey already showed Stealth Rocks. So Gliscor is most likely not his Stealth Rocker. He goes for Taunt, but he already saw my defog. So honestly, that wasn't a good play, because he already saw a defog. So he should assume that I don't have Sword Stance on a defog Scizor. Yeah, I can use this opportunity to bring in my Porygon, and this will pressure him a lot, because now his Chansey has to come in. So I'm gonna go for the trick here. I honestly don't think I need choice specs in this game, and if I can trick the choice specs onto Chansey, that could be really nice. And even if he stays in, a choice specs Gliscor is also very useless. And his Chansey already showed Stealth Rocks. So he has Soft Boil, Seismic Toes most likely, Stealth Rocks, and Toxic, I think. Yeah, we do get the choice specs onto Chansey, so that is great. And now I'm gonna go back into Scissor, because again, if he goes for Stealth Rocks, I can defog them away. He will be locked into Stealth Rocks, so he's most likely forced to switch out. And if he goes for Toxic, again, Scissor is immune to it. But he actually makes a double switch into Muk, and I don't mind this, because now I can go for the U-turn. Scissor is faster, and if he stays in, I can go into Hippowdon and let him take Rocky Helmet damage and Sandstorm damage. Because all this chip damage is going to be important against the Muk. Because I need damage on Muk for my Porygon, so that his Muk cannot switch into my Porygon. But he actually switches back into Gliscor. And now I can just go back into my Porygon. And what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna press Tri Attack. Because this might let him think that I don't have Ice Beam. And Chansey is gonna come in again. And remember, Chansey is choice locked, so this damage is really nice as we get a crit. And because we got that crit, I'm going to bring in my Entei, guys. Because if he goes for the healing move, he will be locked into the healing move. If he goes for Stealth Rocks, Entei won't take the Stealth Rocks damage because he's already in. And he actually shows Heal Bell, but something will die now. Because Entei is such a beast, and what on his team is going to switch into Sacred Fire, guys. Clefable will also get 2-hit KO'd. Max defense Clefable will definitely get 2-hit KO'd, so he does bring in Clefable. I get a crit, but honestly that crit did not matter. Because the second Sacred Fire was obviously gonna kill this Clefable. And even if he switched out, something else would have gotten 2-hit KO'd. Because his whole team is slower than my Entei. And this is why you shouldn't always think about being able to switch into everything when you build a team. Because as you can see, my team doesn't switch into everything as well. But usually my plan is always to win before my opponent does. And that's what I'm talking about in the team building video. If you can get ahead of your opponent, it doesn't matter if you cannot switch into them, because they have to switch into you. And you basically asserting all the pressure. But yeah, he goes into Zapdos. My Entei cannot knock it out from there if it's a defensive Zapdos, and I do not want to risk getting paralyzed by Discharge, so I'm going into my Hippowdon. As he goes for Heat Wave. So he was most likely predicting my Hippowdon to come in. But yeah, I'll get up my Stealth Rocks here. And if he switches out, he will have to switch into Stealth Rocks again as he brings in the Gliscor. And again, I can just bring in my Scissor here. And Scissor is still at full HP. Let's see what he does. He goes for Earthquake, so he was maybe predicting my Scissor. I'm gonna U-turn here in case he does taunt me. Expecting me to roost perhaps. He does go for the double Earthquake, so a nice play on his part. But yeah, I get in my Porygon Z again, and now I will press Ice Beam. Because Stealth Rocks are up, so if Muk does come in, Muk has to take Stealth Rocks damage, and Muk has to take the Ice Beam damage. And I will still live a Pursuit even if I switch out from this amount of health. Because the Sandstorm will subside the next turn. So he does switch out, he goes into Muk. Muk takes the Stealth Rocks damage and he takes the Ice Beam damage. And I'll just go straight into Hippowdon. He doesn't go for Pursuit, so now he also takes Rocky Helmet damage. And at this point he cannot switch into my Porygon anymore with Muk. Because otherwise he will get 2-hit KO'd. He does poison me, that's unfortunate. But we got enough chips so to the point in which he cannot switch in anymore. I will switch into Scissor here though, because Gliscor might be coming in now. he actually double switches into his Avalok. So Rapid Spin is most likely gonna come out here. So what I want to do here is I'm gonna U-turn and bring in my Entei. Because if he recovers, Stealth Rocks are going to stay up. If he Rapid Spins, my Entei won't take any damage from this. And I get a Sacred Fire off and pretty much ensuring another kill. So let's see what he does. Does go for Rapid Spin. And now he has to let something die to the Entei again. And guys, please trust me, Entei is such a beast. Entei is really such a beast. Even though it doesn't get extreme speed in this game, it doesn't get Flare Blitz, it's still a beast. I think it's even better than Arcanine, to be honest. But yeah, we take out the Avalok. And now Gliscor is coming back in. I could do something cheeky, bringing my Hippowdon and predicting Stunt going to Scissor or Porygon, but I think I always go Scissor here anyway. Because Scissor is not gonna do anything against the Zapdos. Okay, he goes for Earthquake. And he's most likely gonna taunt here, so I'm gonna U-turn. He should taunt, he does taunt. And yeah, I can bring in my Porygon again. And remember, Muk cannot switch into this. So I'm just gonna press Ice Beam. His Chansey did not heal. So if he brings in Chansey, he will die to my next Tri Attack. Just remember, I'm still at +1. I'm not choice locked. And Chansey is coming in, so Ice Beam should do around 20%. Okay, 22, and Tri Attack is stabbed, so Tri Attack should kill here. So we get rid of the Chansey, as he actually switches back into Gliscor, and I do not understand that play, cause look at this. Perhaps he still thought I was choiced or something. Maybe he forgot that I tricked. But I got a lot of damage off on Gliscor, and now Chansey goes down. But that's basically because of the pressure of Porygon and Entei. They have so much damage. And choosing the right switch always is difficult when you are pressured by so much damage. But yeah, now he brings in Muk. I am going to switch out though, as he gets a crit and he poisons me, so that is annoying. But yeah, I will bring in my Hippowdon here, and I'm going to set up my rocks. That was really unfortunate, the crit and the poison. But yeah, my Porygon still has one turn to attack, so I have to make that turn count. Yeah, getting up the rocks here is nice, and I'm gonna go for the Slack Off here. Let's see what he does. He didn't use Hidden Power Ice once, so this might actually be also a defuck Zapdos, because he was predicting my Hippowdon to come in a few times and by pressing Heat Wave. But that will most likely mean that he doesn't have Hidden Power Ice, as he does indeed show the defog. And here I'm just gonna go for the Stealth Rocks again. Because there's literally nothing the Zapdos can do to me. He does switch out, Stealth Rocks are up, so next time Zapdos comes in, he will be at 25%. Now I have to find a way to kill this thing though. Let's Slack Off here. He actually goes for Taunt, so he's not roosting. I was expecting him to roost, to be honest. Because if he honestly didn't need to roost. Let's just bring in the Garchomp here. Because Garchomp is my most expendable member, I think. He actually makes a double switch into Zapdos. But now my Garchomp comes out and I'm pressing Outrage here. Because after Rocks, the Gliscor cannot switch into this. And if he stays in, Zapdos is going to die. And Gliscor has to press Roost. Okay, he does switch. He does stay in with Zapdos. Zapdos goes down. And if he brings in Gliscor, Gliscor has to Roost, which means he cannot kill me. So I'm gonna, again, there's no other play for me to make here. He does go for a Roost here. And I'm actually gonna predict him to attack here, so I'm gonna Outrage again. Because even if my Garchomp dies, it's still fine. He does go for Earthquake and he gets a crit, but if we break through here, Gliscor will be dead. We snap out, we knock out the Gliscor. Because otherwise I would have had my Porygon still in the back. And that's indeed GG. So I hope you guys liked Entei shining in this game. Porygon as well against a very bulky defensive team. If you guys did like the video, please hit that like button. That really supports me. Also make sure to subscribe to the channel. I do a lot of PvP stuff, a lot of PvP battles, guides, team building stuff. So if you guys are interested, subscribe to the channel. Also click on the notification bell to know when my videos are live for you. And leave a comment down below. Let me know how much you love Entei. But that's it for now. Peace out and I'll see you guys in the next video.